Early Britain, Stone Age. Highlight. First people were hunter-gatherers. Britain permanently separated from continent about 10,000 years ago. The first farmers arrived in Britain about 6,000 years ago. First farmers probably came from Southeast Europe. The first people to live in Britain were hunter-gatherers, in what we call the Stone Age. For much of the Stone Age, Britain was connected to the continent by a land bridge. People came and went, following the herds of deer and horses which they hunted. Britain only became permanently separated from the continent by the Channel about 10,000 years ago. The first farmers arrived in Britain about 6,000 years ago. The ancestors of these first farmers probably came from Southeast Europe. These people built houses, tombs, and monuments on the land. One of these monuments, Stonehenge, still stands in what is now the English county of Wiltshire. Early Britain, Bronze Age. Around 4,000 years ago, people learned to make bronze, which start Bronze Age. People lived in roundhouses and buried their dead in tombs called round barrows. The people of the Bronze Age were accomplished metalworkers who made many beautiful objects in bronze and gold, including tools, ornaments, and weapons. Early Britain, Iron Age. The Bronze Age was followed by the Iron Age, when people learned how to make weapons and tools out of iron. People still lived in roundhouses, grouped together into larger settlements, and sometimes defended sites called hill forts. A very impressive hill fort can still be seen today at Maiden Castle, in the English county of Dorset. Most people were farmers, craft workers, or warriors. The language they spoke was part of the Celtic language family. Similar languages were spoken across Europe in the Iron Age, and related languages are still spoken today in some parts of Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. The people of the Iron Age had a sophisticated culture and economy. They made the first coins to be minted in Britain, some inscribed with the names of Iron Age kings. This marks the beginnings of British history. Early Britain summary. First people were hunter-gatherers. Britain permanently separated from continent about 10,000 years ago. The first farmers arrived in Britain about 6,000 years ago. First farmers probably came from Southeast Europe. Bronze Age start around 4,000 years ago. People lived in roundhouses and buried their dead in tombs called round barrows.